Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, bringing you guys a special episode of Scrap Mechanic. Now, I normally don't do midweek Scrap Mechanic episodes, but today I've been sent probably one of the most amazing, biggest creations I've ever seen in the game. So we're going to cover that here today. Now, don't worry, this is not going to interrupt my other Scrap Mechanic Town episodes. Those are still coming up. But this game, what it's based off of, it holds a very, very special place in my heart. I know that sounds a little weird. The Mass Effect series, some of you guys may know of it. There's been 3 games so far. First one came out, I believe, right around 2007, and I don't know, I was going through a little bit of a kind of a rough patch there, and that game, it just did so much for me. That's why the series, I'm absolutely in love with it. Now, Mr. Canadian Toss is a fantastic creator in Scrap Mechanic. We've covered him before. He sent us some tanks a while back, but what he's created here today, if you know the game, you know of the ship, the Normandy, and I've been talking to him for about a month now, and by the way, I'm going to flash his channel link up on screen. Definitely go visit that and go visit his workshop. He's a really talented builder and Scrap Mechanic. But yeah, he's been sending me some pictures. He's like, I built the Normandy, or I'm working on the Normandy, and this has been over a month at least. And I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, and I saw the picture and I didn't think it was that big, and then he put it beside one of his other big ships, and I was like, oh my, that thing is huge. And I was like, are you gonna actually finish that? That is, I can't imagine how many hours this thing took. So yeah, this is the Normandy. We're about to load it in, and it is gonna cause a little bit of lag when it loads in initially, but once it's on the ground, it doesn't lag at all, and I don't know how the game's even doing that. Like, I figured this thing would just crash my computer. So yeah, this is the Normandy from the Mass Effect series. This thing is made with 350,000 blocks, and it's got 1,800 thrusters in it. So yes, folks, it does fly. I don't even know if the map's really big enough for this thing to fly around in too much, so we might be just doing circles here, but anyways, let's go ahead and load this thing up, and give it a second. It's gonna freeze. The game doesn't know what's going on at the moment. And there it goes. Okay. Hopefully that didn't freeze too bad in the video. But yeah, here it is. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at it in all of its glory. This thing is absolutely huge. If I had to guess from almost like a 1-to-1 scale, this is probably pretty on point. I don't know what he used, if it was just reference pictures or if he had an actual... sometimes you can find schematics of certain ships from game series online. But yeah, this thing, it's glorious. Like, I love the way it looks. Now, the interior, there is parts that are just empty because obviously this thing's so huge. Like, it would be probably the biggest pain in the rear end to try to do a full interior here, but there is some rooms in it. But we're going to kind of just break this thing down a little bit, and oh, the scale, this thing's so massive. So yeah, let me go ahead. I'm trying to think of the best way to look at this. Actually, let me pull out a Brent Batch flyer real quick, and we're going to kind of fly around it because it takes a while to walk around this thing. Alright, this is going to give you guys a little bit better view of the ship. He's nailed this thing for Scrap Mechanic. I mean, he's got the paint job. You've got the, I'm assuming these are the main engines all on the side. I don't really know how he did all this. I'm pretty sure there was quite a bit of welding, because I couldn't imagine him having to build all these engines separately, because they don't really look too much different. So he's got those. Now, the whole craft itself, it is on the ground right now, and as you can see, it's not lagging. I think a part of that is because the way he built it, it doesn't have like a flat bottom to it. You go ahead and delete the Brent Batch flyer. So it is not all on the ground at once, and I think that's one of the reasons the game is actually able to handle it. Now, it is made completely out of wood, which, I mean, obviously, if you're going to get something to fly of this size, it's going to have to be. If not, you probably have like 10,000 thrusters in there, and oh my. Oh wow. Okay, so this is the connection tool. Obviously, you can see all the thrusters there. He's got some free bearings on the wings, so when this thing does pick up, the wings slightly slant down like in the game. I'll give you a little bit closer look at the engines here. This thing just looks glorious. I'm in love with this creation so much, and I'm so happy he actually finished it, because this took a lot of commitment here to do. So anyways, let's go ahead and go up to the front. We're going to climb in, give you guys a little tour of the inside, and then we're going to fly this thing around a little bit. You'll be very, very surprised at how stable this flyer truly is. Alright, so say you want to enter the craft here. He's got a seat tucked down right here in the front. I'm pretty sure there's other seats around the craft, so say if you want to get in different ways. So we're gonna just climb in right here, and here's the inside shell. Like I said, quite a bit of the shell is empty. In the game, you could only access certain areas of the ship anyways, so you kind of always wondered, you know, what's in the walls, what's in maybe some of the rooms that you can't go into. But yeah, he's got this all hollowed out here, and you can just see the massive amount of thrusters. I'm assuming these are hover thrusters up here. These will probably push you up. You've got your sideways thrusters. There's some logic gates in here. I'm assuming maybe there's several places to actually control this. What does this lead up to? Okay, so this is the roof of the craft here. This is actually really cool looking. I just love how he did the how he scaled it out and how he started slanting up with the blocks here to create that illusion of it being big and curved. It's kind of hard to do in games like this, especially if you don't have like these long slanted blocks. Like this would have been easier if you had maybe like the Grego mod or something, but he did this strictly out of vanilla, so you guys should be able to just go right in and download this. Oh, okay, there's his logo right there. Actually, I think it's supposed to be seen from the bottom. That's a Canadian Toss. Let's see, let's wander around this massive beast of a machine. And okay, here's some of your actual interior rooms here. Let's see, how far? Wow, okay, that actually goes up quite a bit. That's all interior up here. You can see more thrusters at the top here. Let's go around here to the side before we try to enter in the interior. Okay, so is there a way here to the back? I don't know really what's in this back room. I'm assuming it's another hollowed out area. It might be that you have to go up in the top here to get into that part. So let's go ahead and walk into here. Okay, so this is some of the interior. I'm trying to remember about where we are. Normally, I believe there's an elevator somewhere back here, and this could be maybe the shaft right here. Let's go ahead and walk around this side. Actually, you know what? This is down, I think, towards one of the engine rooms. I believe there's like a medic bay around here. Let's see. Let me go ahead and wander back up here, and I do believe this is where the elevator shaft would be. Let's go ahead and hop up in here. This might be, I guess this was called the situation room. I think it had the little hologram map. If I'm not mistaken, that's where we are. Let's see, is this where we would pilot from? No, okay. Yeah, this is kind of, I'm trying to remember. It's been actually a while since I've played the game, so it's all starting to come back to me right now, trying to figure out where everything is. This looks like some of your basic crew quarters and stuff back here. Like I said, the inside of this, he does have some really detailed rooms. Like, I believe we're coming up to, yes, here's where Commander Shepard would be at. You got his little computers here, his bed. Let's see. This is actually kind of nice looking. Okay, he does have a actual window that looks out the side here. I don't know why the window looks so foggy. I don't remember him being that foggy. Huh. Could be just the way it's painted here. So you got that. It looks like maybe like I said, his computer, little shower area. Let's go around this side here. What else are we looking at? Okay, that's another way to get into the front, or actually is that the rear? That's the rear. Okay, so that's how we can get back there. I'm trying to figure out, now, as many of you know, Scrap Mechanic's camera is pretty weird, and I don't really know. I gotta figure out, I'm gonna pinpoint where it is. Actually, you know what, we can get up this way. I'm gonna pinpoint where it is, how we need to fly this thing, because the way I'm seeing it with these logic gates, he's probably, I think he's got multiple places to fly this thing from. Let me check on that though. Okay, here's the rear of the craft here, and oh, it's just like a bed of thrusters. That's absolutely insane. Wow. Okay, yeah, we're right at the rear here. So let me track down the pilot seat real quick, and we'll see what we can do with flying this thing. Alright, so the pilot seat's actually at the front of the craft. Now, like I was saying about the interior, it isn't fully detailed, but you gotta think from a standpoint of when is Scrap Mechanic gonna start lagging, and for him to have that many rooms in there and you can kind of tell where you are, that's actually pretty amazing, and the whole fact that I'm getting the frame rate that I'm getting with this craft. So, let's go ahead and try this thing out, and obviously this is gonna be a little weird to fly because the camera doesn't go out that far. This is all the way out. From the inside, you can't tell where you're going. So let's go ahead and try this. We might have to fly this kind of backwards. So it looks like we've got all our keys are mapped here. Let's go ahead and activate our 6 and 7. I'm pretty sure that might be the hover thrusters here. Yep. Oh, look at that. I love the way the wings actually move a little bit and they flex with the bearings on there. Okay, so let's try 1. 1 is pitched down. 2 is pitch up. This thing is so stable. Look at this. Okay, I'm not even doing anything right now. And it's just in its hover mode. I could probably walk around this thing. Oh yeah, easily. That is, I don't know how you get this so stable. And you can see, okay, the hover thrusters are activated right now. And I guess the weight's off a little bit, but you can see this little pattern he's got in the thrusters. Alright, that is really awesome. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see, 3 and 4, that is your turning. This turning is actually working really well. I don't know how many thrusters are activating. I don't see any in the front, so it must all be in the back. I would take this to a terrain map because I think it would look epic going over some of the mountains. But the whole fact of when you spawn this thing in, I don't know if there's anywhere to actually spawn this in the terrain map, but even on the edges, this would be cutting it really close. So let's, yeah, we're going to level it out there. Let's try a 5 and 6, I'm assuming, or maybe rolls. Yep. Or the pitching, yeah, these are rolling left and right. The pitches are 1 and 2. We're actually traveling, by the way. It doesn't move very fast forward, and that's a good thing because the whole fact of you're going to hit the edge of the map really quick in this craft. But yeah, that's amazing that he even got this to fly. I do wish, and I think it's going to be a thing later on, that we can get a little bit bigger maps in Scrap Mechanic because, like I said, I mean, I don't even know where we are right now. I'm pretty sure the invisible wall's fairly close. I'm not 100% sure though, and I don't even want to picture what this thing's like when it actually does crash and like maybe falls on its roof or something. Probably would lag a whole lot. But yeah, this is probably one of the most massive creations I've ever seen in Scrap Mechanic, and Mr. Canadian Toss should be extremely proud of what he's created here. So I do strongly suggest going over and maybe checking out his channel and checking out his workshop to find some more amazing creations. But yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to set this thing down and we'll get one last look at it and wrap this thing up here. Alright, well there is the SSV Normandy. Like I said, thank you Mr. Canadian Toss. This kind of really made my day seeing this thing finished. Like I said, I love the Mass Effect games. I love just everything about it. I love the universe. I love the ships. And yeah, I can't even fathom trying to put this together. So he did an excellent job. Definitely go send him some love. But yeah, I want to thank him for sending this over to me. Like I said, this is just kind of a special episode of Scrap Mechanic because this thing's so awesome. We will be continuing with our other gameplay series. Gonna try to bring back some brick rigs this week. Gonna try to do some My Summer Car. I got a couple other new games I'm looking at. And then also we're gonna return to our Town series. But anyways guys, if you like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. And we will see you guys next time on Scrap Mechanic. Thank you.